Hello, and welcome to Brand Clarity by Visions to Images, where we focus on strategy and business development for entrepreneurs at all different levels through branding and digital marketing techniques. Susie Liberatore is the founder and art director of Visions to Images Creative Services, LLC. For the last decade, she has personally been instrumental in bridging gaps between the global digital market and neighborhood locations for some of the biggest brands around. Growth is possible for even a single location with the right professional branding techniques and Susie's signature strategies of Visions to Images. Stand out from your competitors and bring your visions to life while watching your sales skyrocket. Your host for this is Susie Liberatore, owner of Visions to Images. Hello, everybody. Today I have Christina Tamas on the podcast, and she's a realtor and investor in Medina, Ohio. And I've gotten to know her, and I'm super excited because I'm learning so much about investing. Someday I will do it, but I wanted to have her come on. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really honored.
Absolutely. So can you kind of give a background, like tell us how you got started with real estate and then the investment side? Because I know there's a great story to this.
Yeah, so basically, it's been about 5 years now. And when my daughter was just about a year old, I decided that I was going to quit my corporate job that I was at for about 10 years or so. And so I literally up and quit and went and took my realtor classes. And at the same time that I took my realtor classes, I decided that I really liked the investment world. So I started getting into that and started learning a good deal about that. And basically in the last 5 years, I've come quite a long way. So when I very first started, I was just a realtor and I had just started investing, doing something called wholesaling, pretty popular in the investing world. So I honestly, to kind of share a little bit of my personal background, like I said, I had a 1-year-old at home and I didn't have a lot of money to my name whatsoever. So, I went through a lot of hardships. It's not like I came from money or anything like that. To look back at where I was then to where I am now, I'm a completely different person. So, I've been able to build what I'm calling my empire. So, now it's not that I'm just, a realtor and I'm just wholesaling investing. I also coach too. So I have an absolute love for investing. And what I really loved about it was how much it can completely change your life. And I'm living proof that it can change your life. And to be honest, now, it's not just all about money. It's about the freedom that I have. I have 2 little kids now. So I'm able to spend the majority of my time with my 2 little ones at home and not have to worry about, oh my gosh, am I gonna make money? Am I gonna be able to keep the lights on? Things like that. So I really fell in love with the whole investing world. And I wanted other people to understand that they can do it too. I'm a very realistic person. So when I do start coaching people, I do let them know like, hey, it's not for everybody and not everybody's going to be successful at this. It's not like you see on YouTube videos where it's like, oh, anybody can invest and you don't need a single dime and, you can become a millionaire overnight. Well, that's not true. It takes a lot of hard work. So, like I said, I'm in my 5th year now and I'm finally at the point where I can work, if I want to work 10 hours in 1 week, I can work 10 hours. If I want to work 40 hours in 1 week, I can work 40 hours. So I really choose how much I work, but it's given me that financial freedom as well as that freedom of time to spend with my family and basically do what I want to do. So that's a big thing for me. When I do coach, that's a big goal. A lot of these people that I coach, they want to leave their full-time jobs and do this full-time. And I help them reach those goals. So I would say that's, coaching is probably one of my favorite things about what I do, just because you meet so many new people and you get to know them and their goals and help them reach their goals. So,
I love it. I love it. No, you're fine. You're perfect. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I feel like there is like a lot of similarities between us in a sense where like we've gone through stuff and we had to basically build that empire and take that next level. Like you can work as much as you want. You don't have to work as much. I mean, I'm a single mom, so I can pick and choose when I want to work with my business or if I want to work like the 10 hours, the 40 hours. And it's funny you talk about like the millionaire thing because so many times people get caught up in these things like that pop up on Facebook. Oh, be a millionaire overnight. And it's funny because it's like, yeah, okay. Like you said, you have to put in the hard work and do the actual work to be able to get where you need to be. It's not just like, oh, it's going to happen overnight. And I feel like that's just bad marketing for so many people because it's like a scam almost, because it's not true. Like you have to build it up.
Exactly.
Cool. So now tell me what you're most excited about right now for like your business. It sounds like coaching, but tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, so I'm definitely most excited about coaching just because, you know, especially right now with things changing, COVID has obviously changed a lot with everything in the world, but with real estate, you know, so it's not like there's a big change in real estate that, you know, the average person would see. However, with the investment side of things, you know, those investors that really know the market, and then those investors that are just starting to get into it, they're really seeing some things change with investing and with, you know, even lending for investing and how the market is kind of turning a little bit. So it's really exciting because I am getting a lot of these people that are, you know, especially I've had quite a few people recently that, you know, they may have lost their jobs because of COVID, or maybe their hours were decreased or things like that. And they're really looking for how to provide for their family, like what's going to be best for them. So they start doing this research on real estate investing, and then they find me one way or another, and we start talking. And what's really cool about it is just, it's really neat seeing so many different people and then helping each and every one of these people, because there's so many different things that you can do in real estate. And I was actually just talking to somebody yesterday, and I said, okay, so tell me about what you think you want to do in real estate, because there's so many different things. And he said to me, I thought there were only two things. I thought it was just straight up investing or becoming a realtor. And I said, well, I'm here to tell you about all the other parts of it. So there's a lot of different parts to, you know, even just investing itself, which is really exciting because when I talk to people, I get to open their eyes to a whole new world that they never knew about before. And what I also love about it is, you know, I'm not a college graduate. I went to college for, I think, like almost 4 years and never graduated. I never knew what I wanted to do. I could just never decide. So I kept changing my major. So, you know, it was a little tough for me. It was tough, you know, especially my 20s, not having a college degree. People kind of looked at you like, oh, you don't have a college degree, you're never going to go anywhere in life. And, you know, obviously I'm here to prove those people wrong. And what I love about it too is that, yeah, everybody's not made to go to college. Like college is great, but I love all those memes and things like that, you know, are like, okay, hey, yeah, college is great for a lot of people, but there are some people it's just not right for. And those are the kinds of people that we do need to step up and go into the trades or other different fields like that. You know, everybody is so different. So I love meeting people that, you know, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but they don't necessarily have a direction and they're not really sure what they want to do. And then I open their eyes to this whole new world and they're like, wait, hold on. I don't need a college degree to do this. Well, no, you don't. You have to bust your butt to get, you know, where you want to be. And you really have to nail things down. But yes, you can be successful too. So that's probably one of my favorite things about it is that, you know, there's a lot of people that think they may not be able to do it for one reason or another. And it's all about hard work. I mean, obviously, if you're not going to work hard, you will never succeed in this business. If you're all about working hard and you can learn things, then yes, you will absolutely be successful.
I think that's true with any business or any business owner too. Like you have to put in the work to be successful. So, I mean, I totally understand that and I get that. But it's great that you're able to share that story and kind of inspire people who might not have that college degree and have had so many putbacks. I mean, I have a college degree, but there are people who have the opposite, you know what I mean? Like you're talking about, and, or they are successful, or they feel like they're stuck and they're like, well, I don't have my college degree. How do I get there? So it's interesting that you kind of brought that up because so many people think, oh, I need a college degree to be successful and have this great big job. Yes and no, not really. I mean, as long as you put in the hard work, like you can do anything. I mean, I had to learn a lot about the marketing and branding and stuff, but I mean, I could have did it without college, of course, but it would have been tougher. I mean, I don't need a degree necessarily, but I went and learned the stuff I needed to get where I needed to be. Now there is YouTube and all that stuff now, and there are a million coaches, so it's good to always have that mentor to help people. Hey, let's stop for just 1 second during this podcast episode. I know you're so excited to get back and listen, but I wanted to chat with you and talk about how we really work with businesses. What we really do is we dive in and we ask so many questions. We go through a series of questionnaires and extensive research to really help you get a clear, identifiable plan of action that needs to happen for your business. If you want to hear more about this, go to visions2images.com, click the contact us button, and we will be happy to set up a time to chat more. So I know I saw your presentation back with Synergy. So I know there's so many ways, like you said, for real estate and investing and stuff. If you could give somebody advice about investing in something, what would you give?
So my thing is I love not putting all of my eggs in one basket. So, when I started, for the most part, I mainly wholesale, which is one part of investing. And, and that's great and everything, but if that part of the market tanks, well then, what else do I have left? So with what I did with, going to buy and hold, I'm not like the biggest fan of fix and flips. And that's just me personally. I think that's the realtor side of me, because once you go to list the house, anything can go wrong. But, there's the fix and flips, there's the buy and hold, there's becoming a realtor, there's what I do coaching, there's also private money lending. There's just such a wide variety of what you can do that my biggest piece of advice is get your hands in as much of that as you possibly can. So, if you're going to wholesale, okay, great. Wholesaling is great to build capital for when you purchase a property to either hold it or to fix it up and flip it. And then if you start flipping or you start having rents, buy and holds are rentals. And I apologize. Sometimes I talk about things and then I realize that people don't know what I'm talking about that have never been in real estate before. So buy and holds are rentals. So let's say you start building your rental portfolio, you've got a good amount of rentals, and then you flip a house. Okay, let's say you make $20,000, $30,000 on flipping one of those houses. Well, instead of just holding on to that money or, maybe going and buying one of your own or another rental, what you can then do is you can actually become a private lender. And that's really, truly passive income, because what you're doing is you are lending to somebody, and each month, basically, you're making interest on that. So at the end of your term, and it's usually a short-term loan. So let's say you lend the money to someone for 6 months. Well, at the end of that 6 months, you're going to get all of your, let's say you invested $20,000, you're going to get all of your $20,000 back, but then you're also going to make interest on it. And with the private investors, basically you do name how much interest you want on that loan. So you might make 10%, 12%, maybe even up to 15%, which, if you have that in a savings account, that's unheard of. You don't ever make that kind of money. So my biggest piece of advice to people is don't just have one type of investment. Don't just, have buy and hold. Buy and holds are great for, doing, for planning like your retirement, for kind of building up your savings. But then, being able to private lend, that is truly passive income. And I think that is, in my opinion, I think that's kind of the point that everybody should be able to get to, is where they can start lending privately. And then they don't have to do anything with the house. They don't have to worry about lining up contractors or property managers or things like that. They just hand the money over. And then at the end, they collect all of their money back plus some interest. So yeah, that's my biggest tip, is try and get involved in all sorts of things. Just don't do it too fast. And that's kind of one of the things that I help teach too, based on each individual person.
Yeah, and you usually have some in-person events, correct?
Yep. So once a month, obviously, depending on how COVID's going, we do a meetup, and it's usually in Brunswick. It's all on my Facebook page. Whenever I do a meetup, I always post it. It's on my business page, my Christina Tamas CLE page. Basically, I would say that would be the best place to follow it, especially right now with COVID, just because, I do have to follow all of the restaurant and bar guidelines. So I do, some months I'm not able to do it. Some months I am. It just depends on, what's going on with the state or even the county. But yeah, they're great events. They are usually, I would say right now, there's probably about 20 to 30 people that show up. And of course, we are socially distanced. I should probably just put that note in there. But it's really good because what we do is everybody gets a chance to speak for about a minute and let everybody else know what they do, why they're there, what they're looking to do. And then that way it kind of gives everybody a good basis, like, oh, hey, that person wants to lend money. Well, I want to buy a property. I'm going to go talk to them after this meeting's over. So it's a very good networking event. And what I love about it is everybody there is just so positive. Everybody's there to help each other. In fact, a couple meetings ago, I had somebody that was brand new to all of this. He didn't know anything about investing or wholesaling or anything. And literally it turned into, he was asking these questions when it was his turn to speak, that the entire room was giving him these pointers and helping him out and all of that. So it is just such a great group of people. So yeah, I highly recommend that anybody that's ever thought about investing, follow my page. And then, the next one that I post obviously come to, it is open to the public and it's a lot of fun. Well, you'll meet people that you absolutely need on your side, such as attorneys, lenders, property managers, all sorts of things.
It's good that you have a variety in there too. So it's not just all investors or realtors, it's kind of like having that variety. And I know you have guest speakers in there sometimes too. So that's always good because building those connections are huge no matter what business you're in, period. But especially with what you do. Is there anything else you want to share? You've kind of talked a lot about so much great stuff. Thank you. Is there anything else that you might have missed?
No, I don't think so. Just one other kind of tip, if you are thinking about getting into investing, whether you reach out to me or someone else, I highly recommend having a mentor. I have somebody say at one of my meetups that, they were skeptical about, having a mentor and investing money into a mentorship. But what they found was the amount of money that they saved with a mentor by not making the mistakes that they were planning on doing before they got a mentor is astronomical. So, again, whether you talk to myself or you talk to another mentor, I highly recommend for anybody that wants to get into investing, just talk to somebody that does it and, try not to make the mistakes that a lot of us have made in the past. But yeah, it's a great way to really build for a retirement plan. One of the things that I absolutely love is you can take the rental income, if you've got kids, you can take the rental income that you make each month, put it aside in a savings account for them. And there you go. You've got a college fund or just a savings account for them. Then as time goes on and after, maybe when they turn 18 or however old, you can even pass down that rental property to them. So now they've got an asset in their name. So, it's just, there are so many things that you can do in real estate that if you've ever thought about it, talk to somebody that knows what they're doing and has been doing this because it can change your life and it can change your life very quickly.
I love it. I love how positive you are too about it. And you're so passionate. I can tell about it. So yeah. Yeah, I love it. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. And then, I'll put your links in the bio and people can check you out. Thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Susie. I really appreciate all this.
Yeah. Thank you for listening in on this episode today. Please make sure to check out the links from your guest and Visions to Images to learn more about each other. It takes a village, as you know, so connect and grow with one another together. Thank you so much for listening.